Hey everybody, it's Ron from Pick Dawgz. This is Ron's Bank Shot Breakdown. We're going to go over 3 Sweet 16 games for Friday, March 24th, 2023. Now, if you like what you see, make sure to give this video a big thumbs up and subscribe to our channel. Don't forget to put your college basketball picks in the comments section below. And if you're looking for my best bets, including my $15 Bank Shot best bet, you can find those at the Premium Picks tab at pickdawgz.com. Alrighty, let's get into it. Here are the games for Friday in college hoops. First up, let's talk about San Diego State and Alabama. This one's 6:30 Eastern on TBS. We see Alabama as a pretty big favorite here for a Sweet 16 game, 7-point favorite. Total is at 137. Now, I know these teams have great defenses on paper, but I think this total is set just a little bit too low. When you got an Alabama team that's ranked 6th in the nation in average possession length offensively, I know San Diego State's got a great defense that likes to slow things down, but have fun trying to slow down this Alabama offense. Really, they've been able to dictate the pace in almost every game this season. They're a great shooting team. It takes a lot of three-pointers. They're a good offensive rebounding team. I think they'll be able to score plenty in this matchup. I know San Diego State's got that great defense, but they face a Mountain West schedule for most of the year. When you go up against this Alabama team, it's the #1 overall seed in the entire tournament. I do think your defense is going to be tested a lot more. But I also think the Aztecs are going to be fine offensively. I think this offense overall has been pretty underrated and undervalued for most of the year. You got plenty of scorers, capable scorers on this team, including your arguably best player in Matt Bradley, who's had a little bit of a down year this year, but he's experienced. He's a good perimeter shooter. He can really shoot from anywhere on the court, mid-range as well. And you got a good front court, guys that can put up, put back shots. They're a good offensive rebounding team as well. Alabama's had some issues on the defensive glass this season. They don't really force a lot of turnovers either. So sure, this Alabama defense is ranked 3rd in adjusted defensive efficiency. But when you look at the shot quality, you look at the fact that they're not a great rebounding team defensively, and they don't force many turnovers, I think the door is open for San Diego State to score some points and pretty good bunches in this matchup. So we see a total below 140. For me, it's plenty of value on the over. So give me the over 137 and Bama San Diego State. Next up, let's talk about the 15-6 matchup between Princeton and Creighton. This one's going to be a 9 o'clock Eastern start time. It'll be on TBS. We see Creighton as a 10-point favorite. Total is at 140. Now, it's always fun rooting for the Cinderella teams in the tournament. This year it's been really fun to watch Princeton, St. Peter's last year, Oral Roberts a few years ago, UMBC when they took down Virginia, Loyola Chicago in their Final Four run. But, although it's fun rooting for those teams and watching those teams play, I just don't like this matchup for Princeton at all, really. I do think Creighton wins this game pretty handily. Princeton in their 2 upset wins over Arizona and Missouri, those were 2 teams that had some really glaring issues fundamentally. Arizona's a team that has so much talent and so many great shooters and overall strong offense and defense, but the big problem with them was sometimes they could be pretty sloppy on both ends of the court. They have issues taking care of the ball. They don't really force a lot of turnovers, and we saw that in that game. Arizona had double-digit turnovers, 13 in that ball game. They didn't get to the free throw line much. They weren't making those free throws, so I do think that was the big thing for Princeton in earning that upset win. The second game for Princeton was against Missouri, one of the worst rebounding teams in college basketball. We saw Princeton earn a 16-8 offensive rebound advantage. Also, Missouri had issues taking a lot of fouls and not getting to the free throw line themselves this season, and we saw that in that game, 15-7 free throw advantage for Princeton in that ball game. But now you're playing a Creighton team that really does a lot of the fundamentals well. They don't turn the ball over much. They're a strong defensive rebounding team. They don't take many fouls at all, so I don't think Princeton's going to get to the free throw line much in this game. They're a strong offense, experienced team, well-coached team. I think Creighton is just a really bad matchup for Princeton in this game. We already saw Creighton take down 2 really tough teams in NC State and Baylor, Power 5, Power 6 teams in the first 2 rounds pretty handily. So I think Creighton wins this game by double digits. I'm willing to lay the points here with the Blue Jays. It's been a fun season for Princeton, but I do think it comes to an end. Next up, we're going to talk about Xavier and Texas. This one's going to be a 9:45 Eastern start time. It'll be on CBS, and we see the Longhorns of Texas laying 4 points. Total is at 149, excuse me. Now, Texas, I do think, has the benefit of playing 2 teams that rely on the three-point jumper just as much as Xavier does. Texas took care of business against Colgate pretty easily, winning that game by 20 points in the end. And then they beat Penn State by 5 points last time out. Both teams are in the top 10 in three-point percentage. this season. Colgate's actually #1 team in three-point percentage this year. So Texas took care of business in those games. Now they play a Xavier team. It's #3 in the nation in three-point shooting. We know Texas has a good perimeter defense. They force turnovers. They take care of the ball. They're very experienced. They're one of the more experienced teams in the country. And we know what winning the Big 12 conference tournament can do for a team. We saw Kansas last year winning the Big 12 and the NCAA tournament in the end. Texas is just playing its best basketball of the year. Shot quality-wise, this is the better team, and we're laying a pretty reasonable number, I think, with Texas only laying 4 points, 2 buckets. I think Texas can win this game by 7-8 points and still cover the number for us in the end. And, Xavier, I do think they had the weaker schedule in the tournament, at least for the first 2 rounds. Kennesaw State's a solid team, but, the ASUN had a pretty weak year, in my opinion. And then the second round matchup against Pittsburgh, a Pittsburgh team, and I still don't believe deserve to make the NCAA tournament over teams like Oklahoma State and Rutgers. So I do think Xavier had a little bit of a fortunate draw in the first 2 rounds, but you don't get any fortunate drawing here. I think Texas is the better team, so give me the Longhorns. I'm going to lay the points. And that's it. Those are the games we're going to talk about for Friday in college basketball. Hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe, but don't forget to put your college basketball picks in the comment section below. Again, if you're looking for my best bets, you can find those at Pick Dawgz Premium. As always, this is Ron Romanelli. Good luck.